Hello, everyone. My name is Slappy Burger, and welcome to part 18 of my journey through Minecraft. Last episode, we did a little bit of busy work, more of a slow episode, but I think that's okay. Sometimes I like to take it slow, don't have to worry about doing anything too crazy. That probably means that I didn't know what I wanted to do. But today, I know exactly what I want to do, and it's actually a pretty big project. So down here in the very long tunnel towards the thing that someone said looked like a showroom way up there. Um, so we're back in the base, and I want to make a sort of weird. I don't want to call it a mushroom farm, but I want to make it a weird room. A very big room, very big like cave like room right here. And then in terms of an actual mushroom farm, I'm probably just gonna put that right here. But I want to make a really big like mushroom cave room. And I want to make it really big, mostly because once we update, I would like to grow the mushrooms into, or at least some of them, into large mushrooms. But I want the room to be pretty detailed. I gathered a lot of resources since I've been gone, specifically this TNT. This is the first time we're going to be using TNT in this world. It's the first time I crafted it. I got 2 stacks of it. Took quite a long time, even with that mob grinder. Creepers were just not being nice and not dropping like any gunpowder half the time. But I want this room to be pretty big. Um, and I'm going to use TNT to kind of clear it out, and then we'll kind of chisel and work with things as we see fit. So I am a little anxious of the TNT because I don't really know how it's going to behave. I know how it behaves pretty well in modern Minecraft, but I don't know how it's going to behave here. Um, my kind of idea for this is to make a cave that kind of goes down and wraps more like that way, I guess. So it's going to kind of go down and wrap that way. And then we'll have all sorts of like mushrooms and maybe some throw some iron and gold ore in there here and there because that is the only ore we can actually get. But I don't know. We're going to kind of play it by ear. So before we do anything too crazy here, I just want to kind of mine out an area in the front here just so we don't blow up everything right at the entrance. So I'm not really sure how far we'll go with that, but we'll start with just doing that. I'm gonna get this coal just because all the all the coal I've been using to get that stone is kind of hurting now. So definitely want to get more of that. But um, yeah, I want it to be like a pretty big cave room that we make and then just kind of fill it up with mushrooms and stuff. And it's not going to be an actual mushroom farm. Depending on how kind of dark it is, we may have to sort of like we may have to kind of gosh, what am I stumbling over my words here? We may have to trim it back every so often. But I think that'll be okay for the most part. This room is going to be purely decorative. I don't really expect it to be a utility room per se. Maybe we'll have some sort of use for it in the future, but for now it's going to be just a decorative room that we kind of work with. I would like to make it so that there's pistons, like a piston door, maybe like right around here somewhere. So you kind of walk into this little hallway and then there's a piston door here. But again, I'm still kind of planning this out. I have an idea and I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I want to see just how things kind of look. So before we go too far, this should be far enough away so that the TNT doesn't blow everything up. So I want to test it real quick just to see um, where this will get us. Because I also want to see how like I said, I don't really know how the TNT behaves. TNT behavior has generally kind of changed, so. Okay, that's perfect. I was kind of hoping it would be more rough and not just make like a perfect cube in the wall. So like it did kind of do like that there, but I bet like if we place another one like right here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is working out better than I thought. So this is perfect. And then we'll kind of like I said, we'll kind of do spot adjustments here and there. based on how we feel about it. So I'm going to do one here because I kind of want it to, well, that's going to blow up. Ouch. Okay. Then it is kind of weird how it blows up. It's like blowing up things like down here instead of like carving. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I'll kind of do this. This is already going better than I thought. So if I chain TNT together though, that's what I want to know. So like if we have a TNT activate another one. So I guess we'll do that right here. Like where will it, what will happen there? Plus we're going to get a lot of cobblestone from this too. So that's kind of nice. I don't know if I want to chain it all that much. I think I'd rather just kind of let it, you know, blow up on its like one by one. So I think we'll go a little bit further down this way and then we'll start kind of wrapping it. But I'm trying to think of how exactly I want this to look. Like I said, I have a general idea, but I'm kind of doing this on the fly. I brought a lot of that stone with me just for the patchwork sort of thing. I don't want there to be much dirt or gravel in here. I might put some here or there. But for the most part, I'd rather it just be stone in here. I have some ideas where maybe towards the top here, there's like a waterfall that kind of, or like a water block up here that kind of trails all the way down to like a pool of water at the bottom. Then maybe make like some water coming out of the ceiling down into it or something. All sorts of ideas. So let's kind of patch up some of this stuff here. Like specifically this. This is kind of weird shape here. This is kind of a weird shape too, but let's get this coal since it's here. This is going to be a weird episode. I don't know. I have noticed that whenever I'm working in the, like in darker areas or caves, the bitrate of Minecraft just like, or at least on YouTube, just absolutely tanks. It becomes absolutely horrid bitrate. So hopefully that doesn't like happen, I guess, too bad. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty decent sized project. Yeah, definitely going to have to do some working with the stairs here because it's doing like a perfect staircase down. I don't want it to do that. But let's just keep blowing stuff up in this direction. And then we'll kind of see where it goes from there. One thing I did want to mention while I'm doing this, kind of for my idea for it, is that I do want it to kind of slowly descend down the whole way. I don't want there to be any like sort of level parts until the very end. But I think I'm just going to do a few more here that are like going down. And then actually what I think I'll do is I'm actually going to put some TNT here. Get it to activate. It's going to break the torch, but whatever. And maybe one here. This could blow up the wall a bit, but it's not a super big thing, so it didn't blow up the wall, so that's fine. Kind of want it to go outwards too. And then, like I said, there's still, even with the TNT is just clearing out the area. We're still going to have to do a lot of mining to get this to look good. So I think I'm going to put another block of TNT here. Yeah, that's good. And then we can kind of carve that to how we need it. Right, I'm going to test this out. I have a feeling this is going to be a massive disaster, but well, you know, I don't know. It might be getting too steep right there. Because it's like it kind of just like suddenly drops off right here. We might have to do, we're gonna have to do a lot of work with that. But thinking maybe we'll start going this way now. Kind of just keep going down this way. Kind of, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about how big I want this room to be. Because I don't really, like, I see the picture, but I don't see the steps to get there. So it's too steep here. I mean, I don't know. We'll kind of work with it. I mean, actually, what I could do is maybe take the path and wrap it this way. And then since we're wrapping it, it won't, the steepness won't be as much of a problem here, and it won't require us to kind of like fix everything there. So, still kind of figuring it out. I'm trying to make like the path thing down, but I'm kind of having a hard time, again, seeing the picture here. Just because it's too steep right here. It's the big thing, is that it's too steep. Maybe we need to kind of clear out some areas over here with TNT. And then that'll let us wrap it a little bit more if we kind of do this. So then we'll, speaking of mushrooms, wow. Holy. Oh my god. Okay. Well. That is crazy. Wow. Yep, so mushroom spread is definitely a thing. I don't believe it is still a thing, but definitely a thing, so I think let that distract us too much, even though that is really funny. It's like odd. That's extremely odd. I think we'll do one more block of TNT right here. Then kind of keep wrapping it this way. Something like this. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out, and then I'll come back with once I have a sort of an idea here. All right. So I have, I think, the general size of the cave figured out, at least this part. I kind of want to make that area over there a bit bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all this cobblestone and TNT I made to make it relatively level. And then if needed, we'll just kind of come back, mine the cobblestone out, and then replace it with normal stone. I'm kind of thinking about it. I want to put at least bits and pieces of cobblestone and moss stone in here. Just because I kind of want to give it some texture just beyond straight stone. And then maybe a little bit of gravel here and there. I definitely don't want any dirt in here. So I'm going to go around and kind of patch up some of the dirt I find. But I was also kind of thinking maybe around the water pool at the bottom, maybe making a sort of like clay sort of thing there. Obviously, I don't think I'm no geologist. I don't think clay naturally happens underground. I mean, if someone knows that or not, feel free to let me know. But I kind of want clay to be around the water, kind of give it that lush cave kind of look. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe clay does kind of naturally occur underground, but this is Minecraft. I'm not going to there's that Minecraft YouTuber that like does like the geology behind Minecraft, and I kind of like it a lot. It's really amusing to watch that stuff. It's very enlightening about how Minecraft is a fictional game. But yeah, what I'm kind of thinking is when it goes too deep, we'll kind of just patch that up with some cobblestone like this, and then we'll come back and replace that as needed. I think we'll have the staircase here. We'll kind of clear out a little bit more of a path here on the wall here. I kind of want it to follow along this, I guess, left wall is what it would be. And then kind of come down to the bottom, which this area will clear out a lot. I'm not really sure if big mushrooms will grow in here, except for a couple places, like maybe right through here. But I mean, if needed, I'll do the grueling task of mining out some of this stuff in the ceiling to make sure they will. But again, that's also a very far future thing. We won't be able to grow mushrooms into large mushrooms just yet. So we'll just keep kind of clearing out this big area down here and get back when that's done. Keep finding all sorts of crazy stuff down here. And now I'm hearing a slime. So that's awesome. These caves, honestly, might just fill these in. It would be cool to have a cave. And, like, look, there's also more crazy mushroom stuff going on right here. Because that's our cave. Now there's just, like, 800,000. Look at this, man. Holy. My God. Oh, my God. Jeez. Oh, my God. This is absurd, man. Mushroom spread is no joke. My God. Okay. I'm almost kind of tempted to just leave this here. This is kind of impressive. Just how many mushrooms there are. Man. We're lucky there'll be diamonds down here, but I don't want to get too far flung from what our task is at hand. Like, holy, that is a lot of mushrooms. I don't think I've seen mushroom caves like happen before, but that is, I think, quite possibly the most mushrooms I've ever seen spawn in, like, one cave. Like, that is ridiculous. And obviously, it probably started as like a patch of 2 or 3, and then just because we've been playing the world for so long, they just kind of spread. Kind of tempted to see if I can't give them the facilities to spread even more. It's just insane. There's no diamonds down here, then we're done. There's none. See any. Yep. All right, we're going back. Stay focused. Stay focused, Slappy. I'm still just at awe at this. Like, this is insane. We mine these blocks right here. And all of those mushrooms will be able to spread up here too. So I think that's a smart play. Letting them get out of hand even more. Like, dude. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going that way. Man, that is ridiculous. And then look at this. There's more stuff up there. Slimes are down there, I guess. Big scary mushroom cave. Interesting. The spread of the fungus. That is kind of incredible, actually. But with what I have been doing, I got it kind of wrapping a little bit here. But it's still a little too steep, I believe. So I think I'm going to have to... Okay, you can hush now. Might have to bring this up probably to about this level here. And then once we get that sorted out, then we can probably go down further. This is taking a little bit more thinking than I originally anticipated. I will say that, but I'm okay with that. I like it when Minecraft makes me kind of think about what I need to do. Honestly, we could probably just put a block of TNT like right here, and then that might actually just like allow us to kind of go where we need to go. That was a terrible idea. I'm never doing that ever again. Wow. I did not do what I thought it would at all. So I don't know. I'll figure this out, but I kind of want this to be the level of the bottom here, and then I'm probably just going to make this area here just go out further that way. And then this area will be generally at that level where the cobblestone is down there. So I'm thinking what we're going to have to do is pull this whole um, staircase thing back. And then instead of going here, we'll just kind of start going this way. You know, honestly, going this way might actually be just the better play anyway, just because then I can kind of like wrap it to the side there, and then this whole area will be like cleared out. So I think that that's going to be, I think that going kind of this way is the better play. Then we can fill in this cave, because I have a feeling that we're going to run into that cave pretty quickly here. So we may have to reset some of the mushrooms' work, but that's okay. We exposed them to an entire new section of the cave that they can freely expand in. It will slow down our mob grinder, maybe, but I kind of want to keep that mushroom cave there just so we can see how far the mushrooms will kind of go, because that is rather impressive with how much those mushrooms have spread. So okay, so this is what I'm kind of thinking here for the path. So it's kind of hard to see where it ends, but it ends on these 4 blocks here. And then I'm going to clear out a pretty decent sized space over that way. But this path kind of wraps around the side of the left wall. If we're at the top facing down, it'll be the left wall. It's the right wall now, but it kind of goes all the way down. And this cave is rather open. I might kind of knock out some of this ceiling right here, because it is a little low. But I want it to be a pretty spacious cave. But yeah, I'm really liking the look of it right now. I mean, obviously it's just stone and it's boring looking, but I'm gonna just to make things easy, this is going to be the flattening out level. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of cobblestone this off a little bit. And then we will start using TNT to kind of make this outer area over here a bit bigger. I'm going to break these manually just so I don't have to blow up my path while I'm doing it, but I'm going to blow this area up a lot more. And we'll come back. I think the main reason why I want to keep blowing stuff up isn't because I'm satisfied with how like small or anything it is. I think it's mostly just because I like blowing the stuff up with TNT, and it's fun, and I haven't done it in this world yet, so I'm taking full advantage of it. You know, I'm thinking about this now. Originally, I said I wanted a piston door here, but I'm gonna be honest. I probably should have made the piston door and then started blowing stuff up, because now I don't know how I'm going to fit this piston door into this, like, at all. So, guess we're not doing a piston door anymore, because I'm not going to take the time to fix that. So, I'm a very lazy man. I'm not going to take the time to fix that. No, sir. No, sir. But we are still working on getting that all blown up. I just ran out of TNT. So, well, I still have another stack, but I ran out of the stuff that was in my inventory. So, okay, so I finished cleaning up I should say blowing up. Finished blowing up this area over here. Like I said, still some rough areas that we kind of need to mine out with pickaxes and stuff. But what I'm kind of thinking for this is, obviously the cobblestone is going to be the path. I'm thinking about replacing it with wood. I think the wood would make it seem like really the only thing we put in here was, you know, the path, and like it's something we came across. I kind of want to have that vibe to it, that feel. And then what I'm also thinking is maybe right around here. This is where the like the water area is going to be. Now, I don't want the water to go all the way up to the path, so I kind of want to maybe extend it a little bit and then put the water down here. So maybe the water will start like maybe, let's see, like right here maybe. Like this will be where the kind of the general lake shape starts. Um, and then right here, I accidentally blew it up, but I had some TNT blow up some stuff, and it left like a perfect stone pillar here. But it had like a little way that you could walk through right here. And then when I placed another block of TNT, it blew it up. So I'm putting that back, um, so that we remember to put some stone there because I thought that was really cool, and I wouldn't have thought about that if the game didn't hand it to me. But yeah, so this is where the water will be. I'm not sure if I want it to start at this depth or if I want it to start like up here at like foot level. Like if you're walking right here, I don't know if I want it to be the block below. But I'm gonna go ahead and start mining this general area out down here. And I think once we get like the essentials put in, we'll kind of have a general idea on how we want to trim this thing back to make it fit our needs. So this is the general shape that I'm thinking for the lake. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. I'm just going to use gravel to like, because, you know, placing water in this version is like a pain. So there's not a block under it. You don't replace it, then it just like breaks. So just going to do that. Then we're going to start filling this up with water. Just sort of letting it fill all this up. And I bet if we do this, it'll complete this whole row here. Nope, maybe not. I don't know how you get it to work. Sometimes it'll do the thing where it'll complete itself. Other times it won't. I don't know how to get it to do it. But I'll fill this up and then I'm going to work on the rest of it from there. What I'm kind of thinking, see, I just did it there. But yeah, what I'm kind of thinking also is putting a like the clay patch, because I mentioned putting clay in it. Maybe putting like a clay patch right around here that kind of goes around just the edge right here. And then I'm not going to bring any flowers or anything down. Like I said, I don't want any dirt in here at all. But let me out. Okay. Just take this slowly. We'll remove 2 at a time and fill it up. Be very hard to see. But I was also thinking about, because I talked about wanting to like add like giant mushrooms in here eventually. If we can't fit them in, there's definitely the time and space that we and place that we can just mine them out in the future. Space for them, because we won't be able to tell if they're not going to be able to grow in here quite yet. I mean, you could by like testing, you know, how big the area is, right? Like you could just like see, okay, they need this much space to grow when they can grow. And then you could just, you know, do the math or whatever. But if we need to like mine stuff out in the future, it will be easier because we'll have access to like enchantments and such. So it's not going to be too bad. But I'm going to go ahead and fill this up and then come back once we're done with that. Oh, so we're going to start this now too. Okay, lovely. But yeah, I'll come back. Probably going to sleep so that thunderstorm goes away. And then, Jesus. That thunderstorm is really popping off. Okay. Okay, now that the water is put in, so that's the lake right there. I say lake, like little puddle of water. It's time to start working on making this place look a little bit more defined and less rough. So I think we'll start just right over here, covering up some of this dirt. Doing maybe something like that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. This wall here is a little flat, but we have this whole area up here that we need to kind of work on. I need more stone. So we'll kind of patch up some of these places and then we'll come back again once we have that sorted out. For the most part, I think I have this relatively cleaned up the way I would like it to look. I went ahead and added just a couple of gravel patches in, but I don't want to put too much gravel in here. At least for now. If we find more space for it later, maybe we'll put some more gravel in. But I patched up some of these holes and such that were around here. Um, Cleaned up this area a bit, changed that to stone. Um, I'm thinking now I have one of two things that I want to do. After I'm done getting so rudely interrupted. Okay. Um, what I want to do is I either want to put like patches of cobblestone with like moss stone thrown in there, or I want to do like cobblestone blocks just like kind of scattered around sparsely with mossy cobblestone sparse as well. But I'm not really sure which I want to do more. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe the cobblestone like sparse around as opposed to in patches, but we won't know until we look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and like worst we can do is we just have to replace the blocks with normal stone. So I'm going to go grab the mossy stone and some more cobblestone and we will see what looks good. Although I think the actual cobblestone just kind of around will look better. So I'll come back when I get some of that installed. I think I'll start with just doing it up here so I don't do the whole thing and then don't like it. Or actually, I'm going to do it down here because then I think I can see it better. So this was basically what I was thinking for like the patchy cobblestone kind of stuff. I think I'm still in the process of kind of going around and adding it here and there, but that already just adds like a lot more texture. And honestly, I'm kind of liking the look of it. Um, I'm probably going to remove most of the torches around the at least around the walls. I might keep some of the ones up around the path, but what I'm thinking is maybe putting like some glowstone fixtures up around the ceilings and maybe on the ground, and removing the torches and then letting a lot of the light be from glowstone. But yeah, just adding some of these like additional um like pieces of cobblestone and moss stone are really making it kind of pop more. It's giving it a much more chiseled textured look. And I'm thinking I might also bring some, I think I mentioned it before, but I might bring a bit of iron ore and a little bit of gold ore down here as well. And adding just all sorts of little ore veins here and there. And then that'll also add even more texture to the whole thing. So, but yeah, just adding that cobblestone makes it pop a lot more. And I think it makes it look a lot better. And yeah, I'm really liking how this is starting to turn out now. Now that I'm like getting stuff done with it, I can kind of see the finished product a lot better in my mind. So we're gonna keep working away at it, and yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing the stone and cobblestone for the ceiling and floors up around here, and then we'll come back and get this set up. I'm also going to preemptively, I still want to put like some clay down here. So what I'm going to do is kind of put just some cobblestone here. Let's kind of mark an area out for some clay like this. And then we'll come back down here and put clay blocks in those spots there. Or something like this. It'll look something like this. Okay, so I got all of the cobblestone and moss stone set in, and I'm gonna be honest, this looks so much better now. If we just kind of make our way down, I really didn't want the any big bare areas. Just gonna throw a block there. But yeah, I think this looks pretty much good for what I'm looking for. This is the actual area down here. We have this pretty much set up and ready to put the mushrooms in. And then that's what it looks like if we look up. As you can see, just turn my HUD off real quick. A lot more full now that all of that extra stuff is in there. We could maybe add a little something more right there, but it's weird. Turning the HUD off makes the brightness brighter. I never noticed that. But yeah, this is what it looks like for now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with getting this path replaced with wood. And then we'll worry about getting the glowstone and then lastly the mushrooms put in. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out. Every block I place gets me closer and closer to seeing the vision of this place. So even if we can't grow big mushrooms in here, I think it'll still look pretty good. Oh, look at that. Some little friends in our pond, our fountain. I think I'm gonna let them chill in there. God, I love the old spawning mechanics, man. Cannot get enough of them, where they just really do spawn where they please. Do squids still respawn like randomly in the current versions? I actually don't know if they do. Maybe they do. I don't know. I never really thought, like, I know technically you can make like passive mob farms and stuff in modern versions, but you have to like do a lot of setup and stuff for it. So I'm not sure if squids like will respawn and stuff like that. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and get this play patch put in, which I think we're going to do more something like this. We'll just put this in, break these. And just like that, that's our clay patch. That's it. That's the only clay that's going down here. Is that. But actually, could maybe put some kind of down here too, just to give it a little more extra texture underneath the water. I mean, you're not really going to be looking down there, but that extra texture down there will look kind of nice. And also, for once, I actually have enough glowstone to actually hopefully complete what I'm trying to do. So, before we start putting in the glowstone, just so I don't mess it up, I'm going to go ahead and put in the wood for all of these paths, and then we'll do the glowstone, and then we'll get the mushrooms done. And depending on how long the video is after that, once I edit it, I might have a little bit more something planned even after we get the mushroom cave done. Now, thinking about it, this isn't really much of like, we're putting a bunch of mushrooms in here. This isn't much of a like this is literally a mush room. Like a literal mushroom, like pun intended. Completely pun intended by that. Like definitely just like straight up a mushroom. And honestly, you know what? We're going to call this the mushy room, because this is going to be one mushy room. I think that's what we're going to call it, the mushy room. So now, going to get that glowstone put in. And I think we'll be able to get the mushrooms installed. Some of this glowstone might cover up some of the, the cobblestone and such, but I think for the most part, that's okay. Put some glowstone, like, here, too. Kind of like weird sprawling glowstone, like, masses just kind of throughout the room. And then that's going to be where, like I said, I want most of the, like, central torches to be removed. So we'll put a lot of glowstone kind of away from the path, and then the path will have torches still along it. Just so then it looks more like, I don't know, like we found, like I said, like we found it, you know what I mean? As opposed to we made it. And then the only thing we did make was the path. So something like that. Let's remove all these torches while we're doing this, because that'll make it easier to tell where we need to light up. Then I think we should have enough light in here with the glowstone. Glowstone's a pretty powerful light source, so, I mean, it might be a little dark there, but I doubt mobs can spawn there. But you'd also be surprised. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see. I might have to do some testing with it, kind of off camera. Okay. I think that's good for the glowstone. Actually, might be able to throw a couple pieces just kind of like this, right here. And then I think that's good, honestly. Now, the nice thing about some of the glowstone, I want to make sure, well, before I walk away, I want to make sure that it doesn't look like too glowstone heavy. Maybe a little bit, like right here. So we'll start by removing this one. We did put some right here on the ground. And then this area, it looks a little heavy right here just because of this. But I think this one could actually go instead. And kind of just touch that like that. I think that's still good enough. It's going to be a little dark there. But, and then we'll actually have to remove this one as well, I think. That should be fine. It is a little dark right here, but you know what? Boom. Just add a torch right there. Then I don't think the torches are too heavy either. But we might have to watch for mobs spawning right here. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But the nice thing about the glowstone is some of the mushroom spread may not happen as quickly because of it. So I don't want this room to be just like overrun with mushrooms. So we might have to trim it back occasionally. It's not really supposed to be a mushroom farm, but it could act like a mushroom farm if we're not careful. So, but I think this looks pretty good as is like this. Put the cinematic mode on again. Yep, right here. I already see the thumbnail right here. This is where the thumbnail's going to be, standing right here. Beautiful. And it actually doesn't look, I don't think it looks too glowstone heavy. If we look up this way, it's not too glowstone heavy anymore. Over there, it's not too glowstone heavy. And then from right here, it's not too glowstone heavy. Maybe we can add some glowstone here. I'm really on the fence about it right there. I think instead of right here, what if we did some like right here? Just like a really tiny patch like that. Yeah, I think that looks better. Then just to make it look more kind of out there, we'll put that block like that. Because glowstone kind of generates weirdly, you know? It kind of has like juts and things that kind of stick out, and it has like little spindly bits here and there. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the mushrooms put in. And then I'm going to see how long the video is after I edit it, and then I'll come back and worry about seeing if we can't do the second little idea I had, which I did mention to start was a mushroom farm right across the hall here. I'll just preemptively line it out like this, so we have it. But yeah, this looks really good. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Okay, so that answers my question about mobs spawning in here. I bet he spawned probably either there or right there. Maybe down there. That's tragic. See if we can't put a couple more torches kind of around the path here. And really don't want to put torches in this area, but I don't want to go too heavy on the glowstone. So I might have to experiment with it a little bit. But I brought the mushrooms down with me, and I also brought some ores with me, just so we can kind of throw in, like, some like little veins of ore here and there. So we'll put a gold vein here. I'm going to put more iron than gold because obviously you find more iron than gold. But I do want some gold veins around here and there. And the natural coal veins that are exposed are pretty cool too. I mean, obviously we could just use the, hello? Like, obviously we could use, like the coal blocks that are in those chests at the spawn. But, I don't know. I'd rather just wait until we have access to Silk Touch before we start messing with those. So, we're gonna kind of avoid putting any of those blocks. We're gonna avoid using those. Did I put 5 down there? Or is it already spreading? I might have to go back and rewatch that. I'm pretty sure I only put 4 there. That could be a bad sign. All right. Those mushrooms are installed. I don't think I went too crazy with them. I don't think they're spreading yet. That one is kind of throwing me off. I'm actually going to have to go back and look at the footage for that. But one last thing I wanted to do was I wanted to put in, let's see, actually fill this in like that, right there. That's like kind of too center. I don't know if I like that. I want it more like right there. There we go. Nice little water thing coming down from the ceiling. Looks like it's filling it up. A lot of mushrooms around. And you know what? I'm not the kind of person to complain about, oh, it's happening, all right. I just want right in front of me. Right in front of me, they're already growing. Okay. Scary times, guys. So we are definitely gonna have to trim this area back, but I do believe that mushroom spread is not a thing in future versions. So once we get it to a point where we like it, we can trim these guys back. But yeah, I do like how this turned out a lot. I think for the most part, it's done. Like, this is how I want it to look. Another one of those builds that I think I just saw this one grow too. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm scared. But yeah. This is one of those builds that like I didn't actually think I would enjoy, and I just kind of came up with it on the fly. So yeah, very fun build. I'm very happy with using the texturing from the cobblestone and mossy stone to add a little bit more color and texture here and there. The clay adds a nice little effect to it. You actually can kind of see it under the water there. Mushrooms look good, I think. Maybe a little heavy on the mushrooms, but I mean, wow. Right when I'm in here, man. Get out of here. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to look out for mob spawning in here. But again, in the future, that shouldn't be a problem either once mob spawning changes a little bit. And honestly, I mean, no offense to this beautiful room I just built or myself, but really, how often am I going to be in here? And how often are mobs going to like be right here where they're going to pose a threat to me, you know? As long as it's not creepers, and if it is a creeper, I can just look in here and walk away and then come back or something. So, but yeah, this thing looks really cool. And I think now I'm going to turn my attention towards making an actual mushroom farm that's supposed to be harvested for mushrooms. And I have a pretty simple design for it. So we'll just kind of start with getting over here and getting right at it. So I think before I do that, though, I'm going to clear out this chest and then bring the stuff I need for it down over here. And then we'll worry about getting that thing built. So I just realized that I was using the wrong capture source on OBS. So there's a good chance that a good portion of this video is just going to have it where you can see like my desktop and stuff. Or not my desktop, but like my hotbar and like the borders of the game. Hopefully I could figure out a way to fix that in my editing program, but if not, we might have a jank video today, guys. I just realized that. I'm probably going to put, I say probably, I'm definitely going to put a caption at the start just warning people about that. But now that we're here, I actually just realized I got rid of most of the cobblestone, which I do still need that. We're going to start with this right here. And we're not going to do a double door here. We're just going to do one of the ones that are like this. So we need the pistons here. Then right here. So then they can push in these blocks sort of like that. So they're going to be activated most of the time and have them push in, and then we step on it and it opens up. So then we can put another pair of pressure plates here and make sure it all looks good. Man, look at how big the freaking pressure plates are. My God. Okay. And then this is where the mob farm will be. Or not the mob farm, the mushroom farm. So we'll kind of mine this out a little bit just so we can work on the redstone side of things. I'm going to see if I can get this to work without watching a tutorial, because I am actually so terrible at redstone. It's not even funny. I feel like, wouldn't it have to be, these would have to be activated all the time, right? So we would need like some sort of redstone torch like that. And then obviously that activates it. But then we need redstone coming out of these, which I'm trying to see how I can get this to work. Put a block like this. Let's not activate it. If I put it underneath it, will it activate it? It will. So if I just drag redstone to it like this, I need it to turn off that torch. What if we kind of went like this? Up into it? If we break that, it closes, but if we step on it, it's going to activate them. So, okay. I'm going to see, I know the basics. I'm going to see if I can't figure something out to get this to work. If not, we are going to be messing with some redstone for a bit. Oh, shoot. Okay, I figured it out. I figured something out. That's good. So now we can just, I bet if we just do this, right? Will this work? Oh my goodness, it will. I am actually a redstone mastermind. You guys, this is probably the worst redstone you guys have ever seen. Like, this is so terrible. The fact that I figured that out is incredible. Wow. Okay. So we have something that'll actually work for the redstone. So now what we can do is we're going to make this kind of torches in there just so it's not too dark. And do something like this. keep mining out. And then what we'll do is right here is going to be the actual start of the farm. And then right here, we're just going to put some walls back. Kind of like this, made out of cobblestone, just so, because the farm is basically going to be right here next to the door here. So we don't want it to be super, I don't know. We don't want the stuff looking into that. So the redstone, or the mushroom farm itself, I'm just going to make it a very simple room here. And the way it's going to work is we're going to have a 4-block tall sort of main hallway here. At this point, going down decently far. Maybe like something like this. Not going to be like super huge, but something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put right here is going to be where the mushrooms are actually going to grow. So we're going to dig these out a bit. This, and then we'll go back. This far each direction. And what this is we're going to make these 2 blocks tall, and this is where the mushrooms are actually going to grow. Now, I think I have a solution to stop them from growing on the actual, like, floor down here. And we'll kind of get to that once we get there. Just mine this block out. So that's that side done. Then mine out this side. This mined out, and then we can go ahead and plant the mushrooms. And I think I might extend it a little bit further back each direction. But this is going to be the grow beds. And then I'm going to go ahead and mine these out and replace them with cobblestone, because this is going to be my method of stopping them from growing. Is right here. It's basically just going to be a line of torches on the wall here that forces them, that should hopefully make this too bright for mushrooms to grow down here. But back here, we'll remove these two, it should be dark enough. Though it might be too bright doing it like that. We're going to kind of test this and see if it works. I mean, the mushrooms started growing pretty quickly in the other room. There's a good chance that they'll start growing pretty quickly in here. Hopefully it's not too bright. We'll kind of, like I said, we'll kind of test it. If they grow just even 1 block, that's good enough for me. Mushroom stew is like the most efficient food source in beta. So we definitely want like easy access to an unlimited supply of mushrooms. And pretty much our nether portal gave us as much mushrooms as we need. But it would be nice to have a farm that we can just kind of come in here and sort of harvest them ourselves. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and get these mushrooms planted. And then while I'm kind of finishing this area up, I'll see if it's dark enough for them to spawn. Because if the other farm is any indication, I feel like this should be dark enough for them. I say the farm. If the the mushy mushroom room thing is dark enough, then this should be dark enough. So kind of just keep an eye on them while I'm doing this, and then we shall see. Okay, so I did remove some of the torches in here just to see if the extra added darkness would kind of help it. But I think what I'll do instead of like sitting here and kind of just watching them, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, and then I'll kind of watch it off and on while I'm doing stuff, kind of busy work around the base, because I do need to harvest more wood and such, so I might as well let these guys grow while I'm doing that. But yeah, let's kind of recap. So we started by getting this big old room constructed here. And definitely there is some mushroom spread already happening, because even if that was 4 before, it's 6 now. Because I was like, I think I only put 4 there. Then it was 5. Now it's 6. I definitely didn't put that much mushrooms on the clay. And there's probably more that I'm not noticing right yet. But I also noticed halfway through the video that I was using the wrong display capture. I was using display capture and not window capture. But I'm never in full screen when I play Minecraft, because I tried display capture with a full screen Minecraft, and for whatever reason, OBS just decided not to pick it up. So I kind of automatically just assumed that I was on, wow, got interrupted again. I kind of just assumed I was on normal window capture like I normally use. I did change it over, but I'm going to see if there's any way that I can kind of fix that without messing up the resolution of the video in editing. But yeah, we built a mushy room. Not a mushroom, but a mushroom. The mushy room. And that's what it's going to be called. The mushy room. A mushy room. But yep, we did that. And then we really quickly made a little mushroom farm over here, which I'm going to watch closely. If this doesn't work like this, with the torches and such, I think I do have an idea of what I could do to get it to work. It would take a lot of redstone, but it would work. And if need be, I think that'll be another episode where we kind of do farms and stuff, because there are a couple other farms that I'd like to enhance on. So that will be one of them if it doesn't work. But I am going to end the video here. Thank you all so much for watching, and a double thank you if you made it this far. Once again, my name is Slappy Burger, and I hope you have a blessed evening.